Hello everybody, welcome back to my little corner of the internet. Pray you're all doing wonderful and are keeping in extremely good health and in perfect happiness. Today we are going to continue with The Road Less Traveled by Scott Peck. A new psychology of love, traditional values and spiritual growth. This is probably one of the most instrumental self-help books out there. It's a very old book, like I said, written in 1976, but it is really pregnant with life-changing advice, and there is a sense of practicality to it. It's not like eating empty calories whereby you just keep on consuming these things and actionizing them will be completely different. And that's the beauty of Scott Peck's writing. He's like a loving father, a loving uncle who's going to take you by the hand, who is taking us by the hand, because also when I teach I learn, and when I learn I teach, like I always say, according to the Course in Miracles. And this is fantastic because, like I said, there is that sense of action. There's that sense of, okay, now I have learned A, B, C, D, E, therefore I can implement those steps in whatever area that needs work, that needs confrontation, that needs rehabilitation. So I just love that style, and I really, like I said, he is like a father. I wish he was still alive because wow, it is amazing. And his style of writing, like I said, it really is tangible, and you can hear the reasoning capacity behind it. And now he's starting to use examples of some of his patients.
Why are dingleberries brown? Just the way shit is.
And also, if you haven't caught up on part 1, the first chapter, I'm going to be linking it up there. Just to recap, he said life is difficult, and this is probably the most unadulterated truth.
Change is scary. I know. But this is going to be better for all of you.
Without discipline, we cannot do anything. With some discipline, we can do some things. And with a lot of discipline, we can tackle a lot of our problems. So yes, that is basically what chapter 1 was about. And also, self-discipline equals self-love. So it's not just about the self-love that we just allow ourselves to be rowdy and do whatever we want. It is also about tough love. Remember, there's more than one kind of love. But before we get into all the lovey-dovey stuff that is contained in this book, if you haven't subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. If you love all things self-care, personal development, holistic self-care, a bit of style here and there, if that's up your street, please do subscribe and turn on the notification bell down there so that you won't miss any future videos from me. So today we're going to tackle delayed gratification, which is chapter 2, as well as the sins of the father, which is chapter 3. So delayed gratification is rather small. It's a small chapter, and obviously the sins of the father, that's actually quite a lot. And this is where it's no longer about the carrot anymore.
Here we go. Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy one.
We're now rolling up our sleeves and really getting to the crescendo, basically, to the, yes, we get to do the work. Delayed gratification is a process of scheduling the pain and pleasure of life in such a way as to enhance the pleasure by meeting the experiencing the pain first and getting it over with. It is the only decent way to live. He opens chapter 2, delayed gratification, by talking about a very intelligent financial analyst. She was a married woman. She was a mother, not a single mother, sorry. She was a married woman, a mother, and she was highly competitive, competing with her colleagues, rising to the top, and even competing with her husband. So in their sessions, they managed to figure out why she was that hyper competitive, and they managed to solve that. But there was another issue that was standing in the way, whereby she was a habitual procrastinator.
The dream is dead.
You giving up that easy?
I usually do.
It was getting her into trouble. It's not that she was incompetent, it is just that she was a procrastinator. So he gave her an analogy whereby, he asked her if she loves to eat cake. And she said, yes, I love cake. What part of the cake do you like? She said she likes the frosting. And he asked her, so how do you eat this cake? And then she says, usually I peel off the frosting, I remove the frosting, and then I eat the frosting first, and then I'll be stuck with the cake. So he says, taking this example of the cake, can we apply that into your daily life? Can we apply that into your life, whereby you start by doing the hard things, meaning eating the actual cake first thing in the morning and doing the things that you hate, and then at the end of the day, when your energy is kind of low, then you can do the things that you like, so that this way you can get the job done. So these are some of the examples that he was using in the book, and you can actually see that it makes sense. As they always say, you have to eat the big frog first, and then you get to the easier things, because in this time that we live in, it's rather difficult. I've mentioned this many times. We want to call, we place an order on the app on Kareem, and then Mr. Kareem delivers. We don't even have to wait for more than 30 minutes for our orders anymore. We want to stick the popcorn in the microwave. 2 minutes later, we have the popcorn. We place an Amazon order, Amazon Prime. We want to binge watch all these things, and we don't have that sense of delayed gratification anymore, because we want things done immediately. And we go on social media, it's even worse as well, because we scroll, then we see our counterparts, they're doing this and that and the other, and it seems easy. It seems like it is extremely instant. We will send an email and instantly the person on the other side, they get it. We send a WhatsApp message, it's immediately received, and we no longer write letters. We no longer sit on the bench like our grandparents used to do and wait for the bus and actually have a conversation with the person sitting with us. So it has become extremely easy, and there's no more delayed gratification. But in delayed gratification, we will be able to sit down with our problems and actually face them, instead of looking for a quick fix in order to escape them. 1 hour of pain followed by 6 hours of pleasure was preferable to 1 hour of pleasure followed by 6 hours of pain. So if we do not have a well-developed delayed gratification muscle, it means that we're going to be impulsive. And when we're impulsive, it means that it's going to affect even our personal relationships. It's going to affect the way we present our ideas.
What if we switched wives? Would that help?
For the last time? No!
The way we interact with others, and also the way we tackle our problems. So practicing delayed gratification can also mean that we tend to be more patient, and also we build our resilience along the way. As we can see, it is important to really start going back to the basics and find a way to practice more delayed gratification, because it's also who we become in the process, instead of looking for quick fixes.
Hello, a ticket to freedom.
Instead of numbing ourselves, instead of avoiding altogether, or instead of looking for 1 hour of pleasure, then 6 hours of pain, in the manner of our cake eating financial analyst. So it really is about doing the work, and also teaching our children from a younger age the importance of delayed gratification. And also, when we have delayed gratification, it means that even our children can stay in school. They won't give up, they won't look for a quick fix. In so doing, we become better human beings, not just for ourselves, but also for our children and for people that are counting on us. Now, moving on to the sins of the father, there's a lot that I can add on to this chapter itself. To start with, it's not just necessarily the sins of our father who raised us, who didn't raise us, who wasn't there, who was there, because at a certain point we get to exercise choice. We get to pinpoint the source of our neurosis, the source of our wounds, and then we can do the healing. So I would also add on inner child healing as well, going back again to mothering ourselves, so that we can also be watchers of our behaviors and watchers of why we are the way we are, because it's actually sad when we get to a point where we are like, let's say in our 30s and beyond. I've met people past 30, 40, 50 who are still struggling with something that happened to them when they were young. I also still do. There are things that I still struggle with, and also now that I'm aware of the patterns, or learning the patterns rather, because nobody's ever perfect. We are never gonna reach perfection, but then we can do the best we can given the people that we are. So I would say inner child healing definitely plays a part in the sins of the father. He said it's not that the horns of these unself-disciplined children are lacking in parental discipline of a sort. More often than not, these children are punished frequently and severely throughout their childhood, slapped, punched, kicked, beaten and whipped by their parents for even minor infractions. But this discipline is meaningless because it is the undisciplined discipline. So some of us, we are afraid of discipline because of the above mentioned reasons. Maybe we were punished when we were little, maybe we were beaten when we were little, so we associate discipline with pain because this was the undisciplined discipline. It doesn't make a difference because it's just going to harden the children or harden ourselves. So the moment we're also hard on ourselves, we're actually applying the undisciplined discipline. We all have witnessed our sister who did it. Beep beep, did I marry?
Bloody hell!
She chose that man Legion. She knew better. She thought he was going to change. This woman with a 50-part story on TikTok. Although it was on TikTok, it's everywhere. I don't have TikTok. I've never ever downloaded it. And but she's everywhere. I watched some of her clips on Instagram and I must say, wow. This is what it's all about, doing the work, because where is the self-love? Where is the self-discipline to know that this is just not for me? Because she knew from the beginning, actually, when she used to go in her prayer closet, she called it, and still she continued, because that was, once again, the undisciplined discipline, because again she knew what to do, she just did not take the steps. So meaning that there were other issues at hand, other issues that were impacting her and making it to go forward and without, and not aborting the relationship. You say is one reason that it is meaningless is that parents themselves are undisciplined and therefore serve as undisciplined role models for their children. They are the do as I say, not as I do parents. Once again, it's not just about the parents who raised us, and also it's about the parents that we are now as well. If you are a parent, then raise your hand. Then we have to do as we say. We have to say as we do, so that we can be better example, so that we can set a better example for our children. And also, like I said, maybe time has passed, we are no longer children, so we have to obviously mother ourselves, do our inner childhood healing, and actually start showing up as the disciplined people that we've always wanted to be. Getting on to that, he says even more important than self-discipline, more important than role modeling is love. So we need to come from a place of love. He also mentioned that there are children who are raised in dysfunctional family, not dysfunctional, let's say they didn't have a lot, but they had love, they had that sense of unity. Those children, they actually tend to fare better compared to the parents who just wanted to experience instant gratification and just sweep the problems under the carpet. So if we can apply love, and if we can come from a place of love, whatever is loved is understood, and whatever is not loved is not understood. So love and discipline is going to take us a mighty long way. And also the good thing about having that sense of self-discipline is that when we say we're going to show up, let's say for example we're going to start eating healthy, the parents start bringing home healthy snacks, healthy foods, nuts, fruit. The children automatically are going to associate discipline with, or whatever the parents, let's say they set up this goal to be healthier. The whole family has to be healthier. So if they start bringing in those sort of foods, whereas a parent who brings in cake, M&Ms, not that there's anything wrong with occasionally snacking. We do it. I do it all the time. Everybody does. But if we're going to bring healthy options as well as little snacks that will be hidden away, then it shows that we are following through. We are the role models that are disciplined, and also our children can learn from those things. And he also goes on to give another example of, let's say, a father is always beating up the mom, and the children can see what is happening, obviously. So little Johnny goes to beat his sister up, and mommy gets mad at Johnny and punishes Johnny for beating up his little sister. But Johnny doesn't see the sense in that, because he sees his father being a Mike Tyson and treating his mother like a punching bag. So therefore he's going to do as his father does. And even if he is disciplined, that discipline is the undisciplined discipline, because he is not practicing what he is preaching, right? Because Johnny is just going to become what he sees. So wherever we have a chance to be the role model, we can show these practices, these disciplined practices, and coming from a place of love, we will be able to make a massive difference.
As the Pittsburgh Steelers do, and that consistency has served them well. Best run franchise.
Second best. Like Coach Belichick says, you wait till halftime before you start making adjustments. It's too fucking late.
Is the quality of discipline afforded by loving parents, which is superior to the discipline of the unloving parents. So when we match our words with our deeds, that's how we become the role models, number one. And then also when we discipline from a place of love, that is the quality of self-discipline that is going to make a massive difference. And also being loving, not just to ourselves, but also to our children. He talks about neglect, once again self-abandonment. He says, on the other hand, children who are truly loved through in moments of peak, they may consciously feel or proclaim that they are being neglected, consciously know themselves to be loved. This knowledge is worth more than any gold, for when children know that they are valued, when they truly feel valued in the deepest parts of themselves, then they feel valuable. So once again, love does heal a multitude of sin. It heals us. It makes us want to be better. It makes us want to rise to the top like cream, because even when we are loved and then we are disciplined, it's not that we're just being picked on for being picked on. We are picked on because we already know that love is that our parents or whoever or ourselves, as we mother ourselves, we are actually coming from a place of love and we are valued. So as valued human beings, we are not going to be like Reza and sacrifice ourselves so much that we lose ourselves in the process just because, it's sad. Feeling of being valuable, I am a valuable person, is essential to mental health, and it is the cornerstone of self-discipline. It is a direct product of parental love. Such a conviction must be gained in childhood. It is extremely difficult to acquire it during adulthood. Conversely, when children have learned through the love of their parents to feel valued, it is almost impossible for the difficulties of adulthood to destroy their spirits. We are going to be more disciplined because we know that once we practice delayed gratification, once we know that we are valued, we can actually come from a place of being disciplined, and then we can value ourselves. And in valuing ourselves, it means it's going to save us time, it's going to help us go after the lives we want and help us have more opportunities because we are valued human beings. Whereas if we never had that as children, it's going to become difficult. So that's why affirmations are important. Inner child healing our wounds is also extremely important, so that we can start to value ourselves instead of selling ourselves short in the manner of razor teaser. It's really sad, isn't it? For instance, since we are discussing the process of delayed gratification, scheduling and ordering time, let us examine the matter of time. If we feel if we feel ourselves valuable, then we'll feel our time to be valuable. And if we feel our time to be valuable, then we will want to use it well. The financial analyst who procrastinated did not value her time. If she had, she would not have allowed herself to spend most of her day so unhappily unproductive. So that's it, isn't it? Whatever we do is going to, if we fix that one little problem, it is going to fix a lot of our problems, and then it's going to change the way our manifestations show up, because our time is valuable, our bodies are valuable, our minds, everything pertaining to us is extremely valuable. And to finish off, he says, there are some parents, for instance, who in their desire to enforce discipline as early and as quickly as possible will actually use the threat of abandonment or in a subtle manner to achieve their end. This message they give to their children is, if you don't do exactly what I want you to do, I won't love you anymore, and you can figure out things on your own. Which means, of course, abandonment, isn't it? So we need to, like I said, be delicate in the manner as to how we discipline our children and also how we discipline ourselves, because abandonment is extremely painful. It's one of the most difficult things to recover from. Go through life's uphill struggle, we should all aspire to not only be the best role models of ourselves, not only just be the best role models for our children and for ourselves, but also to come from a place of love and never threaten abandonment, and not being so hard on ourselves, but actually practicing delayed gratification and doing the best we can, because I think when we put these things into action, we are going to obviously get more results a lot quicker. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, it is. It's not easy. It's definitely an uphill struggle, but with love, all things are possible. And yeah, that's all we have time for today. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Take care of one another, love one another, and be kind to one another, if nothing else. I shall be seeing you in my next video. Bye.